Hey, what's up, team? Jason Steyer here. Hope everybody is having a fantastic week. Looking forward to your weekend. Just a few announcements before we get into our little Friday VA story time. Next few weeks are going to be busy with teaching and classes and educating agents and veterans, service members, and their families. Super excited about that. So don't forget, October 27th. We are hosting the USO and all of our veteran and active military families and spouses in coordination with our partnership with the USO and the USO Pathfinder Transition Program. So I'm going to be hosting that class virtually. So I will post a link in this video once we're done. So those of you who want to go up and sign that or know somebody who does, please share that with them. It's going to be exciting. We're going to talk about some cool things, just some basics about the VA home loan benefit, but also some things that they can do to accelerate home ownership and how entitlement works and how they do that. So looking forward to that. Our partnership with USO is fantastic, and we're looking forward to this inaugural class and many more after that. And then on the 29th, I will be in El Paso, Texas with my friends out at Keller Williams. Matt and his team, and we're going to host our class, How to Win with VA in Competitive Markets. It's tough out there, and we're going to talk about strategies. We're going to talk about tactics. We're going to talk about things that you can do, messaging in these classes to help agents understand how to push back, how understand to respond to certain things and present the offers so they go to the top. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a little bit about our high-speed approval process that we have pre-underwritten. So when they're making offers, we're going to get into more of that in some later videos here to come. And then on November 10th, the day before Veterans Day, but on Marine Corps birthday, to all my Marine Corps friends out there, we are hosting a How to Win with VA in Oklahoma City with my friend Melissa, who with Lincoln Title, who is a military spouse, Chad Schiffer, who is with Movement, obviously LO in the Oklahoma City area, with his agents, and inviting everybody in. We've got probably about 30 people signed up already. I'm looking to fill this room, so we're going to be sharing that out through myself, Chad, Melissa, and our community there in Oklahoma City, bringing awareness and how to come together, strategize tactics about winning with VA in competitive markets, because this market's not going away anytime soon, folks. We need to be the best that we can be for these men and women who want to use this benefit, because it is the best law on the planet, period. So without further ado, let's get story time. So I got a phone call the other day from Jen Sunberg, who's an agent out in El Paso, who's a military spouse, mind you. Jen is great agent. She's knowledgeable, but she knows what she doesn't know, right? And we're always working this team aspect when we're having these conversations with our real estate partners about how we can work together, right? It's not just them. It's not just us. We're doing this in tandem. And so she had a soldier who came pre-approved through an online lender. And so she started talking to him and working through her process that we talk about. And some things just didn't add up. And, but he was steadfast in using them. And, hey, I get that. Well, they went under contract. And come to find out, in El Paso right now, getting closing costs paid by seller is really difficult. And so, but they had no idea where his closing cost money was going to come from. Nobody ever had this conversation before. The lender just like, we'll figure it out. Or we'll figure something out. We're going to raise the sales price. We're going to do all this other kind of crazy crap. It really doesn't work out there. He pledged a couple $1,000s, to go over the sales price to get his offer accepted, which, was perfectly fine. But we had no idea where the closing cost money were going to come from. So that was number one. Number two, in discovering these conversations that she was having with him, he is married. And obviously in the state of Texas, being that we're a community property state, even if the wife or the spouse is not going to go on the loan, you have to pull their credit. You have to have the non-purchasing spouse credit report to see if there's any individual debts, right? They didn't even do that. Never pulled the wife's credit. Issued a pre-approval without pulling the wife's credit, without doing any of that you need to do to set them up for success in this offer. Didn't do any of that. So she sent him to me. We had a really nice, lengthy conversation, a very honest, very blunt conversation. Anybody who knows me knows that that's exactly what's going to happen. But it's warranted. It's needed. We are in an environment and that needs that. You have to be honest. You have to be upfront. You have to be blunt. I mean, there's no sugarcoating this, right? And so we had that conversation, and we worked through all kinds of different options as far as coming up with the closing cost money. And we worked all that out. And we talked about everything, right? Closing costs and how all those things work. And at the end of the conversation, he had learned more in the 15 or 20 minutes that he spent with me than the previous 30 days working with somebody else. And look, it's not to say that I know more than other people, but our process is it's very consult. It's a consult, right? We have to dig to find the answers to provide solutions to the problems. And this was a big problem. He's under contract, right? He's contractually bound to this thing. And if it's not going to work out, we got to get him out so we can still get his earnest money back. And so we did that. We're going to work through the deal and get it done for them. But here's the moral of the story, is that if you're an agent out there, and I'm going to say this, and again, this is just blunt, is that these headset jockeys who sit in these call centers, they don't give two shits about what's going on. They're just churning to the next call, right? That's a blanket statement, and I believe it to be true. And that's just what happens. That's my experience with it, right? I'm not saying that there's not good ones out there, but my experience is they're just low rent. They're not pros at this. They don't have the right conversations because they don't care. They're not required to build relationships. They just answer the phone and move on to the next guy. So my coach to you, whoever watches this, whether it's you're an agent or an LO, is to build that relationship and work with agents to come up with a strategy in your messaging to when you're having those conversations with those clients, when they come pre-approved through somebody else, that we can get to the bottom of it to make sure they're set up. And if Jen hadn't have done that, there's no telling where they might be. Okay? So if you're an agent out there and you want to have those conversations, hell, if you're an LO out there, I will help you, right? Let's just figure it out, because at the end of the day, the service member wins, the military family wins, the spouses win, we all win, and through home ownership and getting them into a home, using a program that they rightfully earned. And that's the goal. So that is all I have for today, folks. Again, don't miss our upcoming classes. I'll post some links to that in here. Come on over to the Military and Veteran Home Buying Group. You'll get some cool information in there as well. But we got the Relo Guide. So we're creating more of those. I've gotten lots of questions about other bases, because we've got Fort Hood, Fort Bragg, Norfolk, Fort Carson, and a few others. So I will get those out to our partners and our contacts in those areas, and there are more bases to come. We're working on it. These have been very well received. So it is, it's kind of we're working with marketing to get all that stuff done. But Movement Military got some cool things coming here, hopefully in the next 30-ish days, I hope. So stay tuned for that. But if anybody needs anything from me, questions, want to wrap, want to talk about anything, man, I'm here to help you in any way I can. Everybody have a great Friday. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you guys real soon.